3, 2, 1, go. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 36 of Real Time Chatting. Just remembered the episode number. I'm Josh, here as always with S, down there.
Hi, I'm S.
Hi, and today's special guest is Catalystz,
What's up?
with a Z. Who's here to talk to us about Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. The Sands of Time?
Yep.
Yeah, the Sands of Time. Okay, good, I got that right. Yeah, obviously we have a new layout today. It's all fancy and stuff. I haven't tested it very well. I've done some.
Tests.
Yeah, this is the test. Yeah, I've done some scripting with XSplit, OBS sucks, and hopefully this will work fine, and everything will be good. But yeah, I guess I can press this button to make it the correct title. There we go. See, check that out. Got to remember to do this. And yeah, so I guess we'll start with what we normally start with, and that's what we've been doing the past week. So who do we start with? S?
I guess I'll start.
Okay.
I've been at parents over the weekend, so I didn't do anything then. But yesterday I practiced some GTA 3 100%, and I made progress. So soon I will be able to do a run of that, and then after that I just need to learn Grand Theft Auto 5 City 100%, and then I can do Catalystz. What have you been doing?
Yeah.
Well, I had a break from like streaming, speedrunning, playing games, and whatnot. I was home for a month because right now I'm in Prague in college. And the day before yesterday I came back, so I streamed yesterday, I streamed today, I did some Last of Us again. And when I was back at home, I started working on some new speed games. I was playing shit tons of Diablo 3 as well. Like I had over 60 hours in the past week, so that's a lot.
Nice.
And that's about it.
Did you say Diablo 3?
Yeah.
Not Path of Exile?
I don't play free copies. Sorry.
Okay, alright. Fair enough. I don't know anything about any of those games, so I can't really comment.
Alright.
As for me, I obviously just got back from ESA like a week ago. I haven't been doing that much. I was trying to get a plane in San Andreas for my Let's Play series for like 3 days straight, because the fucking cops kept blowing it up and it was really annoying. And eventually I did it, and the solution was to just do it faster. So like every time I tried to get the plane from the like airport to the garage to unlock it and all that other stuff, I need to transport it. And every time I would do it really slowly and carefully to not damage the plane so it didn't blow up. Well, it kept blowing up before I could get to the garage. And it turns out it just takes damage over time from collisions, like a helicopter hitting a lamppost or something with the blades. So the solution was to just fucking do it faster. And I'm really annoyed at myself for not trying that first. Like, speedrun the game. I'm a speedrunner. Why didn't I just do it quickly the first time? So yeah, eventually I got it. Ended my suffering, much to the dismay of Twitch chat. They were, well, I guess they were happy I did it. I had like 1,000 viewers. It was ridiculous. I was just trying to get a plane for 3 days. It was so dumb. Yeah, other than that, I haven't really done anything speedrunning or streaming wise. Worked on the layout, programmed a bit. I guess I could talk about that. I actually had to ask the XSplit devs for help at one point. So like, you see all the fancy layout and stuff, and I can, I can like, code and manipulate like pictures and videos and all sorts of stuff. Well, apparently it's not supported by the API to manipulate text. I can move it, but I can't change the text. I can't change text. It's not supported in the API. So I basically got really mad on Twitter about it, and then I got really mad on GitHub about it because it's open source. And then the XSplit devs actually got back to me and was like, yo, here's some undocumented functions you can use to just backdoor your way into the text. So I was like, cool, thanks. And then I just do that. But
Nice.
goddamn, that's some dumb API if I have to fucking like hack my way in. But yeah, we got there in the end, and hopefully they'll damn introduce that fucking feature. But yeah, it wasn't quite speedrunning or streaming, but there you go. But yeah, that was our past week in speedrunning. And then we can move on to what the world's been doing about speedrunning. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything. There was some vague news about some Kickstarter game doing a speedrun contest, but I feel like we're covering this too often. Lots of indie games are pulling this PR stunt now, so unless it's a really cool game, I don't really want to cover it. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, I guess we'll just move right on to Speedrun's recap. Please let this button work. Thank God. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is the Speedrun's recap. We'll just cover all the world records we could find for the past week. Reminder, you can let us know about your favourite world records using the submission form, which Trollbear is probably typing the buttons for in chat. So yeah, we have a submission form. You can submit world records to us, and we normally include every single one of them. Unless it's like really bad, or like an IL or something. But yeah, it's really helpful because you can leave a bit of text about it and we actually know what we're looking at when we look at a game we've never seen before. So yeah, let us know. But we have a ton of submissions for this week, so that's nice. But the first game we're going to start with, it wasn't actually submitted. You put it here, S.
Yes.
So tell me, I really hope this works. Nope, crap.
So,
Eventually. There we go, right, yeah. Tell me about Dear Esther Landmark Edition again.
so I got home from my parents, and I saw 2 rounds up for verification on this, and they were both by different people. And it turns out that both of them would have been world record, but well, you know, there can only be one world record unless there's a tie. So I approved the slower one first, so that he would get a notification the run has been verified, right? And then I approved the faster one, so that it would happen again. Anyway, this game, 2 people running it. The one person figuring out how to do the caves quickly inspired the other person. I go slow to actually give it a shot again. And I go slow and got the world record by 4 seconds over the other person. So now I'm expecting and hoping to see, pardon me, I forgot what his name was. The other person, I'll look up his name, JP. I hope he will try and beat us again, and we'll see some competition in Dear Esther of all games.
In all games, yeah. Have you ever heard of Dear Esther, Catalystz?
I have no idea what I'm even looking at.
Alright, it's a very pretentious walking simulator.
I guess the runner's name actually really fits into the scheme of the game.
Yeah, funnily enough, I Go Slow has done runs of other walking simulators as well. Gone Home, which is a game I moderate, they've done lots of runs of that, like 100% and 80% and stuff like that.
Alright.
Yeah, so they seem to like the walking speed runs, I guess. Anyway, we're about to see the only good part of this run, I guess, which is the cave.
Yeah, the flying simulator.
Yeah.
It
So-
should take like 5 seconds.
Yeah, so there you go, just flying. So the devs left I guess a debug feature in this game. In this level, you press a button and then you turn like no clip mode on, and you just fly to the end of the level. And we have no idea why.
Someone suggested something, by the way. AP did. He said, if you turn on the developer commentary, you don't need to do the awkward backward flying reference pointy stuff, because there's a commentary note right inside the, or right in front of the end level trigger. So just considering of doing a run with dev commentary on, and just using that as a reference point to fly.
That would be pretty cool, yeah. That'd be interesting.
Well, I'm not sure what to think of turning on dev commentary for speedruns, but like it's Dear Esther, man.
Yeah,
You gotta
I mean,
use everything you have at your disposal, man.
does the dev commentary like slow you down if you walk into it or something?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It's just some notes and they talk.
I'm just wondering if it would be faster to not have that on and just memorize the thing better, but yeah, interesting.
Well, since there's no reference points, I guess you could use like your mouse and then angle it the size amount of inches. But yeah, good luck to anyone trying that.
Yeah. There you go. Trollbear has a good point. Just do it a separate category.
Separate commentary on a game that has 3 rounds.
Yeah, you could get free world record. Come on now.
I could get it as well if I just do it in the main category.
Alright, okay. Anyway, we better not talk about this too long. We've covered it a few times. But yeah, that's Dear Esther. I still need to... The devs for it, like, are in the university that I went to, in the city I live in, so... I really need to, like, catch up to them at some point and ask them what the fuck was that. So, I'll do that at some point.
And before patched.
Yeah, well, they might do. I don't know. Alright. Okay. The next game is a game we've had on the show before. I'm going to say this every time, but please work. Yes. No. What? Yes. There we go. Okay. So this is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom any % in 57 minutes and 42 seconds by Shift. So yeah, like I said, we had Shift on the show before to talk about this game. And you may think it's just a meme game because hurdy-dur SpongeBob, but it's actually super technical and really complicated to run. And yeah, Shift is crazy in this game. He plays like this and nothing else to my knowledge. Yeah, he's like a god at this game, and yeah, he improved the world record on it. So yeah, it's just another game we've had on the podcast before that I like to follow up on when I see it. So there you go. And yeah, there's an interesting skip. He's like killing himself so he can skip triggers or something. I don't know. He gets like stuck or something. I don't remember. If you want to know more about this run, go back and watch the episode of it in. I don't remember which one, but yeah.
Episode 30.
Okay, there you go. Episode 30.
It's really cool that you guys like include these kinds of games to the podcast, because like I never guessed that this kind of game would be a good speed game. So putting it, into a spotlight or something really helps the game, I guess.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, it
This
is pretty
game
cool.
is really popular though. It has a lot of runners, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Oh, really?
does.
I've never even heard of the game. So.
Yeah, but when you still like the perception of it is like, oh, it's just a meme game and you scroll past it, right? But it's actually like really, really good. But yeah, if you want to know more, go watch that episode, I guess. I don't remember anything anymore. We do this too often. 100 plus runners. Yeah, there you go. It must be really popular then. Alright. So yeah, that was SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. World record for that week. Next one is another game we've had on the podcast before. And it should be the same runner we had before. Because they submitted this. It's Uncharted 2. Come on. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Any % PS4 RTA. I don't know why it's called that category, but anyway. So yeah, Matt submitted this to us and said he finally got his world record back and stuff. And then one day before the podcast, somebody beat him. So this is...
He left a comment saying like, "Oh yeah, I finally got the world record after being on a show and stuff like that," and he's happy with finally getting it. And then he got beaten.
Yeah, so unfortunate. So yeah, this is Uncharted 2 in 1 hour 23 minutes 25 seconds by minutes. Yeah, it's so tiny for me I can't read it, but yeah, I guess you can read Matt's comments anyway. Yes.
After about a month of on and off grinding, I was on the podcast. I finally got a world record in Uncharted 2 PS4 and got the first sub 130, which is the thing I'm most happy about. So, sub 130 apparently was a big deal, and then here's sub 123. Run wasn't amazing. He lost about 1.5 minutes over the course of the run due to the hardest trick messing him up. And a small choke at the end, losing around 15 seconds. That is the run that was world record before this. But he's happily he finally got it. Too much stress, man. Too much.
Well, actually, there was another run by Arams that was like 128. They already beat Matt, and then the next day he got this.
Oh,
and his
okay.
sum of best has been like 120 for a while now, so it was to be expected, really. Arams just couldn't be asked, and Matt kind of forced him, which I think is a good thing because now the game has like a faster time, and there's still like a huge time save that's not really RTA viable yet. I think Matt showed it like the launch on the rocks next to the cave, and those could save like 6 minutes still over this run, so there's
Damn.
still a lot of kind of space for improving.
Yeah. So yeah, this is yeah. Go on.
His comment on speedrun.com, Matt's comment is, in before Arians uploads a 126, he had sitting there for ages, and then uploads a 123.
Oh dear. But yeah, so yeah, this is a game. Was it Uncharted 2 we had last time? I'm pretty sure it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uncharted 2.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we covered this game before, and yeah, this the book or something is like really broken. You can fly. It's pretty interesting.
It's a really, really hard game as well. That's like since it's 3D and you still need to do like very precise aiming and stuff, it is really easy to mess up just by a couple of degrees, and then the trick just won't work. So I was really happy for Matt that he got the sub 130 because he really spent a lot of time with the game. But yeah, I guess Aaron's just is a god of these games. There's nothing to say.
Yeah. All right then. So yeah, that was that. If you want to know more, you can watch our episode about it. I'm going to say that quite a lot today, I think. All right, so the next game is not a genre/era we cover too often, but whenever I see one of these, I'm always like, ooh, that must be important. So this is Super Mario Bros. Free, any percent, no wrong warp. Which I imagine is a super optimized category. And yeah, who's this? Karuna?
Kirua.
Kiwa? Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm not sure. But anyway, they got world record in it this week with a time of 10 minutes, 45 seconds, and 383 milliseconds. You know, it's serious when there's milliseconds in it. So yeah, this is Super Mario Bros. Free. Have either of you two played this?
Oh.
No.
Okay, I have a little bit. And yeah, it's just a Super Mario Bros. Game on the NES, but this is when they went like batshit crazy, because it was like the third one and they didn't want to make the same game, I guess. And there's all sorts of like weird demonic themes and crap like that. And the game is like really long and somewhat difficult. I mean, I never beat it, so it's hard enough, I guess. Yeah, and it's a pretty popular speedrun. If I have a quick look at the leaderboards, there are
119 runners.
Yeah, 119 times for this category alone. Any percent no wrong warp. So that's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, Curia, goddamn, I really forgot. Beating a year-old record for this. So there you go. There's some sick Super Mario Bros.
It's pretty cool.
Alright, the next game. Hey, it's a game we've covered before. It is, if I can ever load it quick enough, Devil May Cry 4. Come on now. Did I press that? I hope I didn't. Devil May Cry 4, new game Devil Hunter, in 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 41 seconds by Mecha. So yeah, this is Mecha we've had on the show before. I think it was this game we were talking about in the series.
Yes.
Yes, I believe it was.
Yes.
And yeah, Mecha beat a really old record apparently. Can you someone read the notes?
It says he's beaten a 9 years old world record. From 2008, the previous world record was 18th of March 2008. So that's pretty good. Like most times from 2008 have been beaten by now, you'd say, but nope. So finally, this happened. He says, I used a lot of new stuff, as is to be expected over a run that is 9 years old. But there's still a lot of things to improve. New Game and New Game Plus categories in both Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 4 are completely different from each other. Since the most threads that you would use in New Game Plus won't work in New Game. He says the game starts to be super fun to run and to root. Rooting games is so much fun, man. He gave us timestamps. He says 10 minutes and 44 is the M3 skip.
Okay, 10 minutes 20 is the closest I can get.
That is a lot of seconds in between. But he just says this is M3 skip. I forgot what that was.
Mission free.
Oh yeah. And he also says one last thing. He thinks he has learned how to make a short description on his run, because shoutouts to Macarazium, who in the past submitted runs to us with like 10 paragraphs of text. And like, I'm not going to read that all.
Oh, fucking hell.
Anyway, yeah, the skip has happened or will happen soon.
Yeah, he tried it once and he didn't get it. Yeah, I remember this is a lot harder on New Game instead of New Game Plus. I imagine he doesn't have as many tools and stuff to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. 9-year-old record. That's pretty ridiculous. It's a good thing you beat it before it got to 10 years, because that would just be weird. Like,
It's...
yeah, there you go. So it's like you jump forward and then you jump sideways. I remember. Remember from the episode. Why do I remember that but nothing else? There you go. Alright. Moving on. We have another NES game that probably neither of us know anything about. This is The Legend of Zelda, the first one. Any percent, no up and A, in 28 minutes and 37 seconds by Lack Attack. So yeah.
You forgot to split.
Oh damn! Thank you.
Oh, she made a new layout.
Okay. Yeah. So does either of you played this?
Oh.
Well, I've never been a Nintendo guy. When I was a kid, I always played on the PlayStation, so I haven't played many of the Nintendo classics, really.
Fair enough. Well, I bought a NES for fun once, and I played all the super popular games like this, so I know this a little tiny bit. And I can tell you that up and A, no up and A, means use like no quick reset. Because if you press up and A, the game like soft restarts back to the main menu, and it like loads the save and stuff. So it's probably like a ton of skips you can do with that. I don't know, don't know why that changes the route as much as it does, but apparently it does. So there you go. And yeah, this is another super popular speedrun. Like if I look at the leaderboards again, ooh, it's like 110 runners. It's pretty crazy, and that's just for this category. And they have like categories for different consoles as well, but it seems like most people do it on the NES, which is nice when you see like community that run on the original instead of like always using the fastest version and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure what any tricks are in this game. I know there's like some crazy manipulation you have to do with the enemies. Like every time you kill an enemy, you advance like the RNG seed of the items by 1. So you have to kill an exact number of enemies to make them drop the exact item at the right time. I don't know why I know that, but I do. So there you go.
Fun.
Yeah, sounds really fun.
And the games that I speedrun are just too new to have that kind of RNG manipulation. Like they have just system clock based RNG or whatever, yada yada.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
You're just, at the mercy of whatever.
Yeah. Alright. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't know much about old games because we're all too young, I guess. Alright. Yeah, we need to... We have had a few NES games on the show before, but I think we need to do a couple more, maybe.
Yeah.
Alright. Next up is Spyro, Year of the Dragon Any Percent in 24 minutes and 21 seconds by Jeremy Thompson. So, you said you're a PlayStation person, Catalystz. Have you played this game?
No.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, no.
How did you have a PlayStation and not play Spyro? What?
Well, I didn't really have a PlayStation 1 for that long. I played like Metal Gear Solid, for example. But I was mainly a PlayStation 2 kid.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, well, yeah, so this is the second Spyro game. I'm gonna guess it's the second one. I don't remember. They didn't number them, which makes it awkward. It's definitely not the first one. Yeah, this is just any percent. So yeah, it's like a glitchy category. We're already out of bounds and we're like flying through walls and stuff. So yeah, this game is a collectathon. You just need to collect as many dragon eggs and gems and stuff as you need to unlock the next level, and etc, etc. So the most popular category for this game, I think, is 100%, because people like to collect all the things instead. But yeah, any percent is good, but I think it has a lot of silly skips in it, which I feel like we're seeing. Oh yeah, there's like, yeah, that was it. So there's like,
left some timestamps of skips.
oh, did they? Oh, just like they submitted it. Oh, sick. Okay, well there you go. Read it. Sorry, yes, I didn't know it had stuff.
So there's a skip at 1 minute 30.
Yeah, we just saw that. Yeah.
And then there's a skip at 10 minutes 35.
All right. See, I think I remember hearing about this. It's like you trick the game into thinking you're still underwater and can swim.
Yeah, Waterfall is very precise and inconsistent, although there is a setup for it. Only Germany is doing this trick in runs. It saves about 10 seconds. 10 minutes 35 is a showcase of RNG, not necessarily a skip. So let's go to... I don't know, let's just watch this.
Okay.
So it's some pure RNG. There should be a bug somewhere. And where he moves is pure RNG, and it's a really precise proxy because the hitbox of the bug is very small.
Did we see it? When was the timestamp?
It was 10:35.
I think we saw it. I didn't. All right.
I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I didn't know what we were looking for. Okay, here we go. A proxy? I can't remember what proxy means in this game.
He left some normal comments. Let me read that. As well.
Okay, so he's jumping on the hitbox of the bug when it dies. Here we go. If we pay attention close.
I wanna see that now.
So he spawns. There's a bug in front of him. He breathes fire on it and then jumps on it like that.
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
like a boost.
Yeah, ridiculous. Fair enough.
In any percent, you only need to go to the end of each level to pick up one of the inhabitants. Otherwise, you can go to the next homeworld. Eggs will not be collected since most of the levels require a certain amount of eggs. You have to find other ways to get into the levels. And here's some fun fact. The gap between world record and second place hasn't been as large as it is now since 2015, when Helmet Proxy was found. The new record was beaten exactly 1 year after the last one.
Damn. That's pretty cool. So someone's like running away with the category, I guess. Okay, cool. Any other notes, or is that it?
There's some skips, but or some timestamps, but I think we should just move on.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a lot.
Oh yeah, I should say that. Yeah, I need to. We need to try to beat the estimate today, because I need to go pick up Henki from the train station because he's coming to visit me.
You wait.
I don't know. He's been traveling quite a lot, and he started at like Omega's house, and then he came to mine. So I don't know if he's gonna want to wait. All right. So the next game is a game I actually added because I love these sorts of speedruns. I think we've had like a Wii game every episode now. I'm gonna keep doing this because people keep running it. But yeah, this is Wii Sports, the original one, all sports in 9 minutes and 16 seconds, by Mr. Jimmy Steed 25. Oh hey, look, we got tennis, the best game.
I think I played this game.
If you knew anyone who had a Wii, you played this game.
Well, it wasn't necessarily in anyone, more so than anywhere.
Okay, that makes sense as well. But yeah, so this is the game that got bundled with the Wii, and it was actually one of the better ones in my opinion. I really, really liked this. Me and my family played this a whole lot, and we didn't play anything else on the Wii at all.
It seems like a good use of the Wii's gimmick controller.
Yes, that was.
And then I see other games, right, and I don't even properly use that controller. I'm like, what's the point of a Wii then?
Yeah, it was a really good introduction to the system. Like my nan and granddad got it because it's just play bowling, and they know how to bowl, so they just threw the Wiimote. Well, not threw it, but you know what I mean. Like did a bowling action, and it worked, and suddenly they understood video games, and it was great.
Yeah, this is like one of the most sold games in history. But
yeah.
It's because, as you said, they bundled it with the actual console.
Yeah, it's like the best-selling game ever, but because it came with the console. Yeah, it's so funny. But I mean, it is a really, really, it's like, you know, simple and family friendly and stuff, but it is actually a really well made game. But, you know, what do you expect by Nintendo? So yeah, this is a speed run of all the sports. They're like doing baseball right now. I'm not sure how much faster you could possibly go in some of these sports. Like this one is just hitting it every time and then that's it, right? Bowling? Could you do bowling faster than normal? I don't know. Like,
Just want to strike everything so that you don't need to throw twice every round.
that would be faster. And then you need to not strike on the last one because you don't want an extra turn.
Alright.
So that'd be weird. But yeah, they don't appear to be striking. It might not actually be faster because it gives you a big "you got a strike" thing, and it just shows a replay. So
Maybe the fastest thing would just to be to mash the button or whatever you do to release the ball and
yeah,
just the ball as soon as you get control.
yeah, maybe. But there you go. There's some potential speed tech for you if anyone wants to get this record. Anyway, I won't cover too many, but golf is probably the most interesting one. That one actually is like you need to play the game better to go faster, right? So this one makes sense to me. And then at the end there's like boxing, which also makes sense because you just have to beat the opponent as quick as possible. But the other ones is like you play as shit as possible to beat the level as quick as possible. But okay, that was Wii Sports. That's my silly meme Wii game for the week. I'll try to add one meme game every time because it's a laugh. Okay, next up.
We already have a meme game coming up at the end of this section.
Please, it's not a meme game. That's serious business. Okay. The next game is Murdered Soul Suspect. 80% in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 8 seconds by the one and only Zephyr the Speedy. Whoa! Yeah, so Zephyr submitted this to us, and they left a massive comment. So do you want to read that?
I'll read that. Okay, so I didn't expect to get the record after 3 days of running this, but it was kind of easy. The previous record seemed to be slow in places, whether it was movement or doing a task, but I decided to really improve on the movement and made sure I did everything in a fast way. This meant taking some new strats that nobody thought of and playing it a lot riskier to cut down some time. Examples of cool time save and strats below, as well as places I played it riskier. So the first timestamp is Hospital Skip at 41:31.
41:31. Wow, that's really far in. Okay, 41:28. There we go.
So it's Hospital Skip. In this section, you're meant to escort the girl all the way over to the demon patch on the floor so you can use her to get across. But you can use the blink type ability in a glitchy way to teleport on top of the demon patch. When you do the quick time event to get out of the patch, it throws you on the other side, meaning you don't have to wait for the girl to slowly move across to the area. Although, if you don't get the girl past a certain point, the next area won't load. So you have to get her past the security camera and the next area will load. You skip saves a minute of slow walking.
What the hell is this game? You're a cat now.
What the hell? It seems really cool though.
Yeah.
Like this fast blinking stuff, it looks really cool.
I've never heard of this game. It's really interesting.
Neither have I. Running through walls. Seems like a good...
And then at 53:49.
53:36.
Alright. This is nothing special. It saves about 20 seconds from having to run around the entire building and up the stairs, and also skips an investigation that takes 10 seconds. So there's going to be a skip.
Was that the skip?
So like you bodied the guard and then didn't have to do certain stuff, or?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, no, I think that was it there. Did you see that?
Right.
He like glitched up a wall. Here, I'll go back. So there's this cutscene. And then he stands here and uses the blink ability on that wall and then hits a cutscene trigger. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Fair enough. And just runs through some more walls. Oh, it's because he's a ghost, of course. Sorry, go on.
And then the last clip is at 48:04, which is the museum train cycle. The strat that everyone else used requires you to very slowly make your way from safe spot to safe spot, which takes 4 train cycles of the train passing by. But if you teleport to the second safe spot, you can do the section in 1 or 2 train cycles, depending on if you get the teleport lined up correctly. This minor change saves roughly 20 to 30 seconds. You can also avoid a cycle by teleporting up the stairs at the end.
Yep, just as you said it, we saw all of that, so there you go.
Yeah, I saw like 2 trains drive past in the peripheral vision while I was reading. Is that correct?
I think it was 2 or 3, yeah.
Very nice. So
No.
that used to be 4, so good job.
This actually looks like a really interesting game. So it looks like you're a ghost trying to solve a murder mystery, is my guess. Seems pretty cool. Might look into it. Alright, is that all? We done?
Yes.
Okay. So, moving on to the last game for the week.
Yes.
Is the game we had on the previous episode. So, as always, someone comes on the show and then immediately after finds some really cool stuff they wish they could have said on the show. But this is PewDiePie, Legend of the Brofist, any percent in 3743 by Ridewag.
Yes. So, Catalystz, do you want to read the comment for this one?
Oh, alright. Just need to scroll to it. So this apparently was truly the God run. It has all the new strats, and sadly, he messed up a few of them, so he actually has to keep playing this fucking game, apparently. The co-op strats were found, and I spent 30 hours flushing them out. I managed to lock down all of them, but the one thing I did not test was the menuing. While the strats were all good, they hardly saved enough time to make it worth it. However, one strat stayed in, and it's a really easy one as well. Saves around 10 to 15 seconds. I'm not gonna bother timing it. I added the forum posts, flushing out all co-op strats that I could find, and he links the post with all the skips. A big time save in this run is just skipping some text dialogue by just playing as Martiza, okay, instead of PewDiePie. This is a good amount overall. The big time losses are, however, big enough that I'm not happy with this. In the start of the run, it's flawless. Really, really good co-op strats done perfect. Not going to bother linking it because it's just co-op shit that seems obvious, and I don't know how I did not think of this before. Since the last RTC, I played this game for 37 hours. I really don't want to play it anymore. I pray that one day I get the perfect run. Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
this game is getting ridiculous. So right now, he's doing the first level where he has to like pick up a load of clothes from the sofas and stuff, and they spawn in random places or whatever. But he's playing 2 characters at once because there's a co-op mode in this game that you can activate on the fly, I think. And he's playing 2 characters at once just to do it faster. So yeah, when we had Rydog on the show last week, he showed us that there was a boss skip at the end because you use 2 characters and you like jump on top of each other and glitch out of bounds and stuff. Well, I guess what he's talking about is the co-op strats. He's now implemented co-op like everywhere, which sounds like a nightmare to actually play this like 2 characters at once. It was already hard enough. But yeah, it's cool that he finally wrote the forum post. Now we can actually maybe have some new runners in this game, especially if you're sick of it, right? So yeah, hopefully some new people pick up this game. I'm not going to, but someone else, please. But yeah, so yeah, if you want to know more about this game, go ahead and watch the last episode. We talked with Rai. It was a good time. Talked about ESA as well. It was pretty fun. And yeah, you miss all the new strats, but you can get surprised when you watch the up-to-date runs. So there you go. Cool. That is all of the speedrun records we could find or were told about for this week.
Up to all the runners.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks to everyone. Why can I hear myself? Wait.
Oh,
wait.
Yeah. I can hear myself through US. Okay. Now you're muted. That'll do. Okay, I'll keep talking then, so you can fix it. But yeah, so thanks to everyone who submitted. We got a crap ton of submissions this week, which was great. So yeah, we actually have stuff to talk about. So yeah, if you see a new record in the next week, go ahead and let us know about it, and then we can talk about it. And make sure you leave some text. Did you put your headset on, S?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
thanks.
really uncomfortable, but I guess it's better than fixing it elsewise.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so yeah, that was all the records we could find, and hopefully we'll have some actual news next week too.
Well, there was apparently a Quake, I think, 2 world record as well. So, like 60 minutes something, I think.
Oh shit! If you're
Yeah,
pissed,
oh yeah, that's my fault. I should have asked you about world records.
ah,
I
well,
was like, yesterday night, I was like, oh shit, I have to do some stuff for RTC, right? And inform the guest about stuff.
Yeah, I prepared stuff like 3 hours ago, so...
fair enough.
Oh, it was a sub 12 apparently. Okay.
Damn.
Quake 1 then, I guess.
All right. We'll cover it next week. Okay, we'll skidge the week past thing for that since we missed it. There you go. All right, so we shall move on to the next segment, which is in the spotlight. I need to press this button so the text changes. Hooray! So yeah, today we have Catalystz with us, and we're going to talk about Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. And now I'm going to press this button and blow everybody's mind. Whoa! Alright, so normally we just ask the guests to just tell us about the game, but it's a bit of a big question to ask about a whole speedrun. So this week I'm trying something different, and in the splits, well, I say this week, I added it last week, and I'm just remembering I did it now. I've got it in 3 segments. We have past, present, and future. So
I didn't know we were doing English grammar on this episode.
yeah, okay, very good. So yeah, I guess start with telling us about the history of the speedrun and what the game is and stuff like that.
Right, so it's a good thing that you actually asked this, because I have like a list of the any percent world records.
Oh, okay.
So this game was released in 2003, and the first record was set in 2004 by Snapdragon. That world record lasted all the way to the end of 2005, where Raboon started working on the game, and his world record lasted for over 2,000 days up till 2011, where Mike Uyama picked up the game, and he did some stuff, but most of the stuff was found by several runners that used to do more like segmented runs. It was Satvara at first, then it was UC Pro and Salamoy. Like, those were the biggest contributions to the speed game. And yeah, basically the world records, kind of the notorious world record that kind of everyone is trying to beat. Oh, nice fell there. Who's that shitty runner? Anyway, the world record was 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 29 seconds by Mike Uyama, set in March of 2012. And it was a world record for a long, long time, all the way till 2015, which is where like the big outbreak happened, because a guy called BL, a pretty controversial figure, I don't know if you heard about him, but he kind of like disappeared from the speedrunning scene, whatever. He found a YouTube video where someone plays, I think it was Two Thrones, which is like, you know, a game in the trilogy, in the Sands trilogy. And they had like a trainer on, and in this game you have like a rewind timer, right? Where you can like rewind back time. And they had the trainer, and they had infinite rewind timer on, and they were like running around and then rewound. And what happened was like the game completely screwed up, and Prince was just sent flying. You could see it there on your screens. Something like that. And he found that video and was like, what the hell is causing it? And then he found the fact that you can overload his memory. So I'll get into explaining zipping a little bit more, but it's called a zipping glitch, and you can basically fly all over the place. And yeah, as I say, it works because of the memory flaws within the game. And that was like the huge break point. And the world record got set to 136, so beaten by 4 minutes. And then in 2015, 18 different world records were set. And by the end of 2015, I'll just scroll down a little bit, the world record was 46 minutes. So that was like a pretty big deal. And then the game was like switching to different categories, because any percent is really consistent just with zipping. And that way you pretty much neglect the entire gameplay of the game. You just run and you fly through the areas, right? You just hit the loading triggers that you need to hit via zipping, and that's it. So it kind of destroys the spirit of the game. So a lot of people started running the zipless category, and I was like pretty much the only runner running any percent in this. And I left the game till like March 2016, and I got a 43, and then the game was left hanging until December last year, where some new strats were found, because runners that ran other games in the trilogy kind of picked up this, and then they were questioning the current strats and were able to find new skips. And Tokaloni1 got the world record all the way down to 37:49. I was like, not like this, and I took it back and got the 37:20, which is still the current world record. Yeah, so that's kind of the history of the game, any percent wise. And since the zipless switch happened, the world record was beaten, as in the old Mike's record was beaten, which was pretty much zipless because zipping was not a thing. And the current world record is 114, so a huge improvement in there as well, even without zipping. There's a lot of tech that would really be just sad to not see, so I'm really glad that zipless actually exists. And then we also created the no major glitches category, which I call no major category. It's a meme in my opinion, but it's, on the other hand, it's really cool in a way that you don't do any of the major skips, and it's really focused on the parkour and on the movement in the game, which is the fundamental part of the game. And it's really, really optimized at this point, and it's just all about movement, really. So that's kind of what has happened in the past with the game, really.
Cool, makes sense. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you have 3 categories. You got the broken one, the slightly less broken one, and the hopefully not broken at all one.
Yeah, that's pretty correct. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so that's the past of the run. So yeah, if we guess the present will mean we'll go through the current strats in any percent, and we
let's talk about some of those things that are or that make this game so broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
You sent me a playlist. Do you want me to just
Indeed,
go through all of these?
Yeah. Just start off with the first video, and I'll just explain how stuff works, really, and then somehow shifts into other stuff. So the first thing you're gonna see here is old way of zipping. You see these little steps. So first I'm gonna say this: the Revine system has as I said, memory. It's allocated to the amount of actions, and there is no reallocation system. So you can overload it if you do a lot of actions. It doesn't matter how long the actions are or whatnot. The only thing that matters is the amount of them, right? So back in the days, it actually used to be a lot of people play on the controller. So it used to be press up on the controller a little bit for 6 seconds, and you overload the memory like that. Then it kind of evolved, and people found out that you need to 16 steps on the controller, but that's not really good, because obviously on the controller you can move on the 360-degree angle, right? And it's very not precise. So then people found out that you need to do 25 keyboard steps to overload the memory. So people are playing on controller and then just mashing keyboard like madmen, counting the steps and overloading the memory that way. And then this glitch, by the way, works in the entire trilogy. So even in Mario Within, even in the Two Thrones, you can do the same thing. Basically, all the 3 categories that I mentioned exist in the other games as well. It's very similar in that way.
Yeah.
Right. So
this is the mouse wheel one.
Yeah, that's the mouse wheel one. This was found in Mario Within, because what you do is you bind the secondary key for moving forwards and backwards to mouse wheel up and down, and then you just scroll the wheel, and every little scroll that you get is 1 step, so you can overload the memory very fast. In Mario Within and the Two Thrones, the Revine's timer is not as long, so they had to use this technique instead of the keyboard steps. Otherwise, they would not be able to fit the entire zip into the Rewind, right? But the problem with this is, if you look at it closely, if you could replay it one more time.
Yep.
Since I do a lot of extra steps with the mouse wheel, I also get the steps in the zip. So that means it gets very imprecise. Here you saw me moving forwards before actually, teleporting or zipping forwards. So that was a big problem. So I tried implementing it to as many zips in Sense of Time as possible. Zips that were not too precise, where overstepping like this wouldn't be a problem. And then a huge thing happened, kind of, where I found the fact that if you hold the shift key on the keyboard, which is a key for walking, it's a walking toggle, it doesn't exist on the controller, because on the controller you can just hold the stick like more gently.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you walk, but on the keyboard you cannot do it, obviously. So they input a key there, and if you hold the key and scroll the wheel, you do like tiny baby steps that won't like they won't overstep at all. You saw it there. Like I did a couple of baby steps and then just normal steps, and I didn't move at all before like zipping. So that was a huge change. Like keyboard zips are not a thing anymore. Like there's not a single zip where you would use the keyboard. So zipping became extremely fast in that manner. And next, the way it actually works, if you overload the memory, the actions that are rewound after the overload get accelerated. So if I, for example, slash my sword, Prince takes a step forwards, right? And that step forwards gets accelerated a lot, and then you fly. If you stab your dagger, he does another step, but it's like a larger step, right? So it goes further forwards and stuff like that. Basically, any action has some kind of effect while zip, like jumping puts you upwards, obviously. If you jump and slash your sword, you can go downwards. And there are certain actions that you can do only after like slashing your sword. So you have like a little combat status. So if you slash your sword and roll to the side, you get a side roll. And that means we can like zip in every single direction that way pretty much. So
Nice.
so zips became like super optimized in a way. And I have to give a shout out to Sphere, who actually made a plugin for Blender. And he was able to export the maps from the game, and we can open them in Blender, and we can just fly through them and see where all the different triggers are. And not only that, he actually made a plugin that allows us to actually like press the triggers and trigger them and see what they do. So a huge shout outs to him. That really helped a lot with the routing of the game.
Damn, that sounds
Nice.
really cool. Yeah. That's ridiculous. All right. Okay, so this next video is Palace Defense.
Right. So now we're like switching a little bit to the zipless category, and the zipless category is dominated by the first-person glitch, right? So you see me teleport with the box all of a sudden, like what the hell? So the way this works, it was actually found not that long ago, like a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year. And there was a runner called, and still is, called Eneco, or Henecho at this point. And he used to have like his first-person view bound to pressing the stick, right? And there's a section where you have to wait for something, and you can like hold the box. And he was just playing around, like mashing the stick. And that what happened was he accidentally went like into the first-person mode and completely changed the direction of the box he was holding. And it was like, interesting. And then nothing happened. And sometime after that, Epic Dude Guy actually investigated that thing and figured out that it could be used. And the way it works is if you hold an object, let it be a statue, let it be a box, it can be like a movable rock that you can move in the game. If you just tilt your stick just teeny tiny bit in a certain direction while being in the first person view, while you're holding it, you're gonna teleport in that direction. So, and the only thing that like changes the properties of the teleport is your current position. So that's like a really interesting thing. You're gonna see it right here. This is like a pretty big puzzle that you would have to go through, and you had to go through it in Zipless. However, right now you can skip it this way. So the only thing that the only category that has to do the goddamn awful puzzle is no major glitches. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
First-person glitch has actually other uses as well. If you can play the next video, that's just going to be a showcase of how we can change the direction of the box. You can go like anywhere, and also like not only a 90-degree angle, you can also go 45 degrees. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that you can do with the first-person glitch is on any like open-ended ledge, you can do it and then just airwalk. That's it. You ignore collision. Collision is just a suggestion at this point, and you can do skips like these. Like what I do there, you can see like there's an end at the ledge. But what I do is I wall run on it in such a way that my hand is like midair, and that way I can actually freely move after doing the first-person glitch to the sides, get to top of a door frame, and then this is just a setup so I get like far enough through the wall and just wall run, and you skip almost this entire area, skip a cutscene, like it's a pretty big thing. You just wall run up, and that's like over a minute of time save, easy.
Cool.
So the next thing is another box teleport. This time, you hold the box, then let go of it, and rewind back. Then you can hold the box like this, and I'm just moving an invisible box at this point. It's kind of finicky because you're actually moving the box behind you. So now I need to turn, so I just turn like this. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's the box. So the box just moved like from the room where it was. There's no way to get it out of there except this way. And then you can use the box to actually teleport through this door without having to open it.
Nice.
Another use of the first person glitch is on these levers. Normally you'd have to like pull it, right? And then you have a timer before the door closes. But you can just do a first person glitch on it and it just disappears and it's activated forever. So that's a really cool thing.
Wait, the lever just disappears? Hang on, I want to see that again.
Yes. See, it's nowhere to be seen. It's a first person glitch to the side, and yeah.
Jesus, just delete the lever. Nice. So it never goes in, so the timer never runs out. Sick.
That is brilliant.
Right, here's another use of this, where you hang like this, and then you can first person glitch to like change your angle while hanging. And then I just change my angle again and go airwalking. Here a couple of times, I want to change my direction so I can go to the doors. I fail it because I'm doing a first person glitch upwards, which I have some trouble with. I should pull it off here, I think. It needs to be like a very gentle movement, so calibration of your controller is super important when you're doing this thing. So obviously controller is mandatory for running zipless, not for any percent. But since I'm a pro, I run on both controller and keyboard and mouse when doing any percent runs. I just switch between for certain parts. And this is another example of an airwalk. Again, I wall run on a ledge where my hand is like midair. So I'm like kind of, hovering away from it. And then I just first person glitch and airwalk. And down there is a lovely lady called Farah, which is not that lovely speedrunning wise. And she's just like chilling there and I'm wondering what Prince is doing. And this goddamn ledge is in such a perfect place that you can actually just skip the entire like drawbridge section, not drawbridge, broken bridge section. It's like, I don't know, it's a lot of time safe really. And just watch this, like the objects here with collision are so perfectly and conveniently placed for us to actually use them to get back in bounds. Like this is out of bounds right now. If I hit the spikes, I die, right? So I'm standing out of bounds, then I just wall run on the thing that's out of bounds again, and then you can actually grab these pillars that are out of bounds and you can just use them to get back in bounds.
What the hell? That's so perfect, yeah. The fuck?
And boom.
Jesus.
And then just conveniently the bridge fucking falls. It's supposed to fall when you run over it, but we completely skipped that cutscene, so yeah, pretty funny.
Nice.
Cool. That airwalk is so hilarious to watch. It's so good.
It's great. That's why like zipless would be a shame if it didn't exist. It's really broken. So here's another thing. This is you can actually damage boost in this game as well if you slow-mo. There's like a slow motion ability. And in this clip, you're going to see an example of, first of all, how the game is actually cancer sometimes. And second of all, how to actually do the damage boost, right? So I'm just going to be like, I stand in a certain place and I'm waiting for one of the enemies to do a certain attack. Then I slow-mo and jump. And then the enemies, if they hit me, I'm going to get damage boosted, right? And the enemies just don't really want to cooperate. And then watch this guy on the left. He doesn't attack. The only attack that doesn't actually damage boost you, right? He knocks down all 3 enemies. And then Farah, the lovely lady, hits him and stuns him. So there's no one to attack me. Right? So, like, that's really cool. So I'm like, if this happens to run, great. And then finally they actually do the correct attack. You time the jump and you get damage boosted up here.
There you go.
So
Jesus.
yeah, that's pretty much the story of every Sands of Time runner. Right, another trick that has been known for ages is the rewind trick. If you rewind twice to the same place, you can actually like duplicate your action. So what you saw there was a button that's on the wall, and you're supposed to like do some platforming and stuff to actually get a box, and then you wall run off of the box and hit the button. But I can just wall run up there and then rewind twice to the top of the wall run and hold wall run again, and I can hit the button that way. So that, as I said, that's been known for a long time, and rewind tricks were the dominating trick back in the days, back when Mike ran the game. Now there are just like 3 of them. And here's another example of a rewind trick. So you saw, if you could go to the start of this video and pause it for a second. Right. So there's like the big drawbridge, right? And what you're supposed to do is actually grab a lever and put it down so you can walk over it. So please play.
There you go.
Funny thing is, the collision for the drawbridge, when it's like put down, is still there, even though when it's up. So I can do like a kind of a precise wall jump here and actually grab that collision. Like that. And then right in front of me, there's like an invisible wall, so I cannot really get there. So I'm going to use the Revine trick to duplicate my jump, so I make it over a gap I would normally not make it over. So I just jump like that, fall down, and then I rewind twice to the same spot. Once, twice, and boom. That's it. Right, so yeah, it takes a little bit of practice. It's not necessarily super easy, and there are some things you need to consider, but it's not that bad, actually. It is not that bad.
Why does that work?
We have no idea why rerun tricks work. Like that, there's a lot of stuff. I had like people, my friends who are programmers, looking into the game, and like the only thing they found out was that if you overload the memory, what happens is the game just starts running everywhere over the memory. So a lot of stuff can happen. I'm just surprised that zipping is like consistent. Every action you do is consistent, unless you increase your FPS. The more FPS, the further you fly. So we have a rule that it needs to be run at 60 FPS capped.
Makes sense.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right, next video. Chat
a lot of
is
stuff
hype.
that can happen with the game, since it's like running around the memory and everything. The game can crash a lot, and the game can crash for very interesting reasons. So there's this cave zip, right? And it's a zip where you hit like a loading trigger mid-zip, so the game kind of does some weird things. And I was crashing there, and the other runner that found the zip wasn't crashing there. And we did the exact same thing. So I was like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, when I'm streaming, I crash. And when I'm practicing, I don't crash. What is going on? And then I started recording, and I crashed as well. So I was like, there is something wrong. So I decided to switch the codec from X264 to NVENC. And guess what? I didn't crash anymore. So yeah, that's Prince of Persia in a nutshell.
Just random memory addresses, I guess. That's so fucking weird.
Another thing that can affect the game, crash-wise, is your power settings of the PC. You don't even need a laptop. Like, just if you have like that kind of like semi-mode between power and saving like energy, you can crash in certain places. So yeah, that's a lot of fun to figure out. But I can say there's like a pretty big community behind these games that are more than willing to help you with that. So like,
all right, hang on. How did you figure out that the Windows power settings fixed the crashing?
I wasn't the one to do it, and well, basically people on different OSs and stuff had like different problems, and we were just really desperate, you know. So we were like trying everything there was to try, and stuff actually got fixed when you changed the power settings. So yeah, that was nice.
Jesus, okay.
Great thing also is that I was doing like back in 2015, I was doing some zips, and they were working one day, and then the other day just started crashing. So yeah, that's also a lot of fun, and like no changes to the PC whatsoever. So yeah,
Nice.
we got rid of those zips though; they're not being used anymore.
Jeez, that sounds like some just superstitious stuff. Like, oh, you want to change your power settings, fixes it, and it doesn't actually. But if it actually does, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it actually does. That's the thing.
Jeez. Okay. All right. So yeah, chat is hype about this next thing, fight skip.
Yeah. So this is the last fight skip. Let me give you a little bit of backstory before we actually play it.
Okay.
So this is the last fight of the game, right? In any percent, you do only 2 fights in the entire game. In Zipless, you have to do most of the combat, which is actually pretty boring. It's like probably the most boring part of the game. But in any percent, you skip all of it except for last fight. Well, that would be said like a month ago, because what happened was Sphere, again, the legend, used cheat engine to actually find the addresses of Prince's coordinates. And we knew where there was like a trigger very far beyond the map, right? And we didn't know whether it did anything, and we didn't know if we could hit it. But once Sphere did this, he actually copied, obviously, the trigger's coordinates and put them into the Prince's coordinates. So he hit the trigger inside of the game, and that like 1% chance of it actually being a teleport trigger to the next location was actually successful. So we can actually skip last fight now However, it's very little to almost not RTA viable. It's super precise. It's pretty much almost pixel perfect, I'd say, because the trigger is not that small. It's like Princess size, I think, but it's super, super far away. Like, one thing I haven't mentioned, which is my bad, and I apologize for that, is that if you rewind in sense of time, you rewind slowly. But if you rewind and hold the directional key, the rewind gets like sped up. And what that does to the zips is that it halves their distance. So like the setups include different actions, but the setups also include like switching fast and slow rewinds to get the right distances and stuff like that. And a funny thing with that is like if you down zip, which is like jump and sword slash, what happens is the jump puts you upwards and then the sword slash puts you downwards. And like you ended up being lower than you were at the start. But what you can do is you can fast rewind just the upwards animation, and then you get put even like further downwards, right? So that was also fun when that was found. It's used by like 3 zips, I think. And in the showcase I have, there are some zips that use this technique.
Okay.
But yeah, back to the topic. So this is the last fight, as I said. A funny story that someone wanted to mention. Or wanted me to mention is that when I was grinding this game a lot, I was able to. It was 2015, I think. I was able to get a really good run, like a really good run. Or was it 2016? 2016, whatever. I was able to get a really good run. Like I didn't fail a single zip. I just had some movement mistakes and stuff like that. And in the last fight, the enemies deal a lot of damage, but it's not that hard. It's not like a hard fight or anything. Right, so I had this god run. My heart was pumping. I was in the last fight. I was killing the enemies, like it was going all so well. And then I got stuck in a corner, blocked by the enemies. And at the end of the fight, I got killed. And guess what? I lost minute 40 seconds. Well, that was a lot of fun. At that point, I was probably the saddest world record holder at that point. Yeah. So I still got the world record by like 3 minutes, beat my world record. But I lost minute and 40. And that day, I swore that I would never play the game again. But yeah, here I am. Jesus.
Yeah, that never works out when you say that.
Yeah, I've heard that story a few times.
So last fight skip was like a thing we really sought to get. There were like 2 skips we wanted to get. One is Tomb cutscene skip, because there's a cutscene where the devs really got lazy at the end of the game and they just put a black screen with like dust or something or smoke there for 3 minutes, and you hear like a dialogue and there's no way to skip it, right? So the world record is 37 minutes and 3 minutes of it is one cutscene. And we really wanted to get that skip, and there was like one trigger that could have potentially skipped it, but with the cheat engine we tested it, it doesn't skip it, so there's no way to skip that. And as I said, the other one was the last fight skip, which actually was proven to work. So what a bunch of runners did, I was at home at the time, so I couldn't. I know you want to play the video. What a bunch of people did is they put cheat engine to the side and they just went in and they zipped and zipped and zipped and tried to get as close to the trigger's coordinates as possible until a couple of people actually did it. And this is the zip in action, so please roll the tape.
Okay, good.
So it uses a torpedo attack, which is probably the furthest zip you can get, like furthest action for a zip, except for a wall run, I guess. So that is actually precise. It was like super fast here, but it's super, super precise. And then he does a couple of actions. The rolls you saw were the block rolls, which can only happen after an attack. And then slow rewind, all of this. Like, it's insane amount of distance. Like, you see the camera move, that's all of those actions being accelerated, right? And the torpedo at the end. And then he just falls down and falls down. And yeah, that's the skip. You just skip the last fight. And it's estimated to save like a minute or something. So pretty huge thing. And yeah.
Damn. All right, I want to watch it one more time. So you say this isn't RTA viable?
Well, people say it. I only like represent the community here a little bit. My personal opinion is that I'm gonna do runs with this, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I guess. But yeah, I mean, it saves a minute, so it's definitely worth. Actually, like trying to go for a couple of times. Like if I don't get it, well, I won't get it. I don't really like focus on this game anymore, but I want to try to get this skip in a run. Like, it would be amazing.
What's your success rate on the skip?
I have no idea. It's like people haven't tested it enough to be able to give like a proper success rate, I would say. I haven't, as I said, I haven't tested it myself because I was away, and now that I got home, I had some stuff yesterday, and then yeah, then I had to prepare for the podcast, and I still have some stuff to do for this game, tutorial-wise. Toka's gonna kill me if I don't do it. So, yeah, after I get all my tasks done, I'm gonna test this out.
Cool. Yeah, I hope it works out for you. Sounds like a really hard skip right at the end of the game is always fun.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, that was that was the present, I guess. So yeah, thanks for covering all of that and your goals and whatnot and all the crazy skips. I love the ledge walking. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, zipless is, I think, the superior category at this point because zipping just completely kills the game, as I said. So
Yeah.
if you want to run the game and you want to do any percent, just do it for fun. Don't grind the game. It becomes boring. It was fun routing, a lot of fun routing, but running it is actually just a drag. So just run zipless. That's a lot of fun.
All right. I guess that moves us on to the future. So yeah, let's talk about. So you talked about your goals. You want to get a run with that last boss fight, skipping it. But is there anything else you want to achieve, or
like within this game?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
Prince of Persia in general, I guess.
Yeah, right. So there's a couple of things that can be done. So first of all, in this, I don't only want to like get the last fight skip and run, but there's like 40 seconds of time saved to my world record. I mean, the world record is pretty optimized, so it's not easy to save those 40 seconds. But by the way, here you're gonna see like one of the hardest zips in the game, probably hardest zip if you don't count the last fight. I'm the only one doing it, by the way. And it's a lot of actions because there's like a lot of triggers, and you are also like flying over game over triggers. So if you don't go far enough, you game over, which sucks. And you need to cancel the zip earlier, otherwise you go too far. So that's a lot of fun.
Jesus. Okay.
Right. So I would like to get like a sub 35, I think, because as I said, 36 is possible even without the last fight skip. And if the last fight skip saves really the minutes that it is supposed to save, then 35, sub 35 should be easy,
Makes sense.
I guess, or like 35 actually.
In before 35:01.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun as well. And then like grinding for 2 seconds, dude. Yay!
Yeah. Great.
With the other games, the only thing I ran was any percent in the other games. So I hold the Wario Within world record, which is like 70:35, which is pretty funny considering Wario Within is like a lot longer casually than Sands of Time, but the speedrun is like half of the length. That world record was really good. I was really happy with it. My sum of best was 17:31, and 17:35 was the world record, so that was pretty good. However, some new strats were found, and people even with the new strats weren't able to get close to me, so I kind of want to like implement those strats and get that 16-minute run eventually, sometime in the future. However, Wario Within is a game you should not speedrun. It drains your soul and leaves you lying without any energy whatsoever, so just don't do that. And Two Thrones is the longest, as in the Any% category is the longest of the trilogy. Oh yeah, Invisible Prince. Okay. What happens there? There's like a cutscene where Prince, as the proper action hero, rips off his sleeve because he gets hit or something. Whatever. Like as the game progresses, Prince gets more and more undressed. I don't know. So you skip that cutscene, and then the game is looking for the textures, right, where Prince doesn't have the sleeve, and there's a trigger for that change, and you run through the trigger, and the game doesn't find the right textures, and you just go invisible.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So as I was saying, Two Thrones is the longest of the Any% categories, and that game is hell. Like, I'm not even kidding. The controls on the PC are absolutely horrible compared to Wario Within. And I did get the first sub 1 hour in that game, and then I was like, I'll just never do it again. And that's a game I actually will not do again. So I haven't touched it for like a year, and the world record is like 55 at this point, I think. And there's some interesting tech in that game, but there are like no goals for me in that game whatsoever.
All right, cool. You mentioned a minute ago that you were making a tutorial for the game.
Yeah, right. So if you wanna, I guess I could plug it here, I guess, since we're talking about the future. So if there are future runners that are interested in this game, and you should be, it's a lot of fun. First of all, go to our speedrun.com page, search for Prince of Persia, and search up the Discord link. Join the Discord, like say that you're new, whatever. and everyone in the community is super nice for some kid, except for some kids that kick out. But I'm just kidding. That's like an inside joke. But yeah, just join the community. Like, if you need help, ask for help. There are tutorials for no major glitches. There are tutorials for zipless, and there's a fully updated tutorial for any percent in the making. It's episodic tutorial, so it's like edited, so you don't have to waste your time with and runners not knowing what to tell you. So like, you know, there are
very
cuts.
nice.
And, yeah, we were like I don't know, 8 episodes in, I think, like around 10-minute-ish mark in the game, so it's like 1/3 in. And yeah, I'm doing it along with Toka, and I kind of got lazy and I haven't uploaded the latest 2 episodes I was supposed to upload, so that's why he's like really pressuring me, because it's been a while now, and as I was home I couldn't really do it because the internet at home is just non-existent pretty much. So yeah, there are tons of resources. There's also, this is the cave zip, by the way, where I used to crash. There's a site that has like all the tools. We have a site that has all the tools for Prince of Persia games for the entire trilogy, like all the trainers. There's also a program which we have, which is called the SOT killer, and it just like kills the game and starts it up for you. That was made because in certain places it's faster to crash the game and boot it up than to watch the cutscene. Because like you save before the cutscene and then crash it as soon as you saved, and then as you load, you're like, you know, you skip that cutscene. And because certain PCs had like problems with alt-tabbing and monitor stuff, you know, not refreshing, Sphere made a program for us that like kills the game and starts it up instantly. So that's pretty cool. So you can find all of that there. There's also a lot of other resources like best splits. Stoke has like the best. He has a playlist with the best splits for NMG. So if you want to run NMG, you can like find all the optimizations. And yeah, there's a lot of resources for all the new guys. And lately, a lot of new people have actually joined the Discord. So I encourage all of you to try running this. Like, you're gonna have fun. Fun's gonna stop eventually, but you're gonna have fun the first time.
Yeah, it's fun the first few times, and then yeah, once you start grinding, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Right there, just one note. You saw me like jump and slash the sword. I said that's a down zip, right? But if you delay the sword slash, you can actually get an upwards momentum zip. And the further you delay it, the higher you go. And since I like do not want to go too high with just regular jump, I need to do this kind of thing where I need to time it. So I go just a little bit upwards. And here I'm doing kind of the same thing, except this doesn't really work out. Like, this is like a 14-second time save you can do. And there's like a trigger underground there for some reason. Like, it's placed underground, right? And then once you turn this lever, the trigger like gets triggered. But you can actually trigger the trigger. That sounds really dodgy. But you can activate the trigger by hitting it when it's like beneath the ground, and then you can skip this lever. But I missed that trigger, so I had to actually pull it. And as I said, I lost like 14 seconds or something.
All right, cool. You got any questions, S?
Not about the game.
Okay.
I ran out of water. Jeez, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we can move on to general questions.
Yep. And also maybe start receiving chat Q&A.
Yes. I'll put that in chat.
All right. So my question is, unless you do have any final words about this game, let's get that out of the way first.
Well, just try it out. It's a lot of fun. The games were made in 2003, 4, and 5 respectively, the trilogy, and they were like way ahead of its time. Like the smoothness, especially with like Sands of Time, the fluency of the movement is awesome. It really holds up to today's standards. If you haven't played the games as well and you don't want to speedrun it, just play it casually. It's really good. It's a classic. So yeah, that's all.
All right. So a question about you is, what other games do you run?
What other games I run? Well, I've run for like 2 years. I ran this game, and it was pretty crazy, or like Prince of Persia. And then I was like, I was getting really bored because I was just zipping for 2 years, and that was pretty boring. So I decided that I would like get this kind of scheme of things where I would have one main game which I would focus on, and then pick up some other games just for fun that I could like relax on, right? So across, I'd say like since April, I think I've picked up a couple of games. I've run like Dishonored. I've run, I don't even know, Outlast. Mirror's Edge. That's like one of the main games actually. Now I'm focused on The Last of Us, which is not that good of a speed game, I'd say, but it's there we go. But it's a really fun to stream speed game in a way. Like there's a lot of kind of downtime. Like you see me just running here, and I can like talk to the chat, interact with people, and it's a nice change of pace from Mirror's Edge. Because when I was streaming that, I just I couldn't look at the chat. Right, it's fast-paced action all the time. Right, so yeah, I run a variety of games. As I said, I've started working on some new ones. I'd like to keep it a secret, but I can say it's a very popular speed game, and I'm going to be debuting in like, I don't know. I don't want to give any estimation, but it's getting ready. I'm like halfway through.
Super Mario 64.
No.
All right, fair enough. People can look forward to that. Then.
If we guess correctly, will you tell us?
No.
Final Fantasy X.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, you said you played PlayStation 2 games. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, GTA SA. There you go. There's a PS2 game.
Yeah, I'd play. I was thinking about GTA San Andreas actually, but then I don't know. I just kind of got cancer from like the mouse flipping you have to do to get rid of the traffic, and I was like, no, that's not for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
You can also do a trick where you just hold the mouse down and you don't have to flick it.
Yeah. There's another version. You look downwards and you wiggle the mouse a bit, and then traffic doesn't spawn in front of you. So
nice.
Don't have to.
Can
flick.
you see anything while you're driving though?
No, but you don't have to flick.
Just use the mini map.
Yeah.
Just learn the roads. Anyway. Do you have any questions, Josh?
Not really. No, I think we covered everything that we normally ask people. Yeah, I guess we'll move on to chat Q&A.
Nice. So we've gotten a handful of questions.
Yes.
Not even. Get more chat Q&A questions in, people, for Catalystz or maybe for us if you don't want to ask Catalystz a question.
Yeah. We'll do this for a bit. Like I said, I need to run a bit earlier, so we'll have to try to beat the estimate. Okay.
We have 39 minutes. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, we should be fine. Who knows? We could talk for ages. All right. So, oh god, I'm going to butcher these names. Tokaloni, thank you. Says, hello, at Catalystz. When will you get sub 2 in Sans Trilogy? Any %? Smiley face.
Right, so... because we were bored of just running single games, we decided to do trilogy runs as well. I haven't done one myself, but if you add up my times from all of them, it would easily be the world record for that category. So I've been asked a lot to do it, but I just can't be asked because Two Thrones is shit, as I said. So probably not anytime soon, really.
Fair enough.
All right. Next question by Drapfox.
Don't even read that question. It's don't.
When will you run Prince of Persia 2008?
Right, so there was a game that was supposed to be Prince of Persia released by Ubisoft in 2008. We as a community do not really acknowledge it because it's a fucking collectathon with no skips and it's just garbage. And it's like a meme and everyone memes about it. And when you're asked about 2K, everyone's like, what game? What? No? Huh? So, not anytime soon. I'd say never, actually. I'm sorry.
All right. Here's a question called Quake, ? I think that's in reference to guessing your secret.
No.
Let's just skip these new game questions then. Which leaves us with one more question. People get more questions in. If we finish answering this question, the podcast is over. So, here's a question. Do you want questions to stall for more podcast time? Yes.
Yes. Sure.
I mean, answering questions is fun.
Yeah, come on, chat.
Here's a good question. Will you submit more Prince of Persia games to marathons?
Yes, most likely, actually, because you guys had a blast watching these skips and stuff, and I think it's a really cool game to show off in marathons, so always fancy showing it off, so I guess I actually will.
Yeah, Henako, or Henna Joe, has done it a couple times at GDQ.
Yeah, twice. The first
yeah.
one was like any percent back in the days, and that was like a train wreck.
Yes,
Right.
it was a hilarious train wreck, and everyone loved it, and it was fantastic.
It was good. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last run was Zipless, and he did really well. I was really proud of him.
Cool. It's funny, like now that when I listened to him on GDQ, he kept saying like, all these things can crash the game and stuff, and I thought he was just making bullshit. But then you explain that it's actually like real, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of game overs because there are like Farrak checks, like the lady I mentioned. The game checks if she's with you, and if she's not, it game overs. So like once you run into the Farrak check and the game doesn't really find it, then you game over. So you need to dodge those or wait for Farrak to get to a certain place. And yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but as I said, tutorials will explain everything.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you guys? I'm good. How about you?
Good as well.
Yeah, I'm good. Thinking about what the hell I'm gonna do after this. I'm gonna have to like get dressed and then run out, but we'll see.
We got some good questions. So up to you, Josh, to put the end line in.
Okay.
So, Catalystz, what is your favorite part in Sands of Time?
Ooh, that's actually pretty hard. It's like I don't think I have like a favorite part. Just I played the game a hell of a lot when I was a kid, so I had like that nostalgia. Then I started speedrunning it, nostalgia was gone, right? But I can say Endgame is not my favorite part of the game because it's like that's the tomb cutscene, as I said, 3 minutes, and then you like run down some magical stairs because some idiot at Ubisoft thought it would be really funny to actually prolong the game by making you run on endless stairs for like 30-40 seconds, right? So you just run down the round stairs. That's a lot of fun. Favorite part of the game, I would say I think prison was really cool because like first of all Prince got undressed, and second of all the prison area is actually pretty funny, as in funny is not the right word. It looks really cool, and the game kind of changes tone. It's like a fairy tale, and the prison's more like a horror drama thrill kind of thing. So that's I think prison and torture chamber are probably my favorite parts of the game.
So here's a question by D. Sphere. Will you practice Carolina tornadoes for the next WW at a marathon?
Yeah, so back in April, that was like ESA Germany, like the smaller ESA marathon, which I ran very within any percent at. And very within any percent ending is actually really cool because there's like a boss you have to fight. And she has like these cycles of tornadoes where she goes up in the ground, in the air, sorry. And she just floats there for 40 seconds. And you need to dodge tornadoes and there's nothing you can do. However, over the course of the time, back in 2015, we were able to skip one of those cycles. Moving on, we are able to skip 2 of those cycles, and then a new runner called Cribben, back at the day he was new, he was really bad at the fight, and he fucked up, and then accidentally skipped all 3 of the cycles. So a lot of us actually went to the game, and we spent like 15 hours straight just grinding that fight, trying to figure it out. And now we can skip all 3 of those cycles, right? But there's a little bit of RNG with the last skip. And what happens at ESA Germany was I did get the skip. However, I put her to a wrong amount of health, so I needed an extra hit, and I didn't realize. So I didn't attack, she went in the air, and then the tornadoes killed me. So I had to do the boss again, and I failed the triple skip because I got bad RNG, and I had to dodge the tornadoes again. And you can only take like, I couldn't take a single hit, right? So I was running around, and I was really close to getting hit like twice. And then a tornado hit me, but it like went right through me. It didn't deal any damage because apparently like the animation was still there, but the hitbox already disappeared because the tornado was about to disappear. So like everyone in the room had like a heart attack. They would have to mercy kill the run. So I guess practicing the tornadoes for the next marathons would be actually helpful.
Fair enough. My cat
When
stopped.
is Sands of Time is it plus World Records?
I've done I haven't finished the full run of Zipless yet, where I wouldn't have to load a save or something like that. Or the first run I did, I had to zip once because I didn't know a strat, so I did 1 zip% or something like that. And yeah, I finished 1 run. It was not bad. It was like 4th or 5th place. But I'd have to put some time into it, and I don't really plan on doing this now.
Joshimus.
Oh, hello.
Why do I see you at so many speedrunning streams?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what they mean. I don't watch big speedrunners. I only ever... If you're talking about ESA, I mean, I was there. I can't think of anything else. I never talk in GDQ. Do you literally just mean ESA? It must be that, right?
Just, how dare you, man? How dare you show your face, man? What the hell?
That's weird. Yeah, I don't normally... I normally lurk in, like, every single stream I watch, so I don't know what they mean. Witty. Weird. Okay.
Alright, next question for Catalystz. Which game did you think had the best story of the trilogy?
When I was a kid, I really liked Sense of Time because of the fairy tale kind of thing, and like there were some emotions. And then I grew up and I started speedrunning as well. So when spoiler alert, mute the stream if you don't want to hear a spoiler for 5 seconds. Farah dies at the end, where she doesn't really actually die. And if that happens, you're actually happy in a speedrun, which isn't supposed to happen, right? When you're playing this casually. So, yeah, Sense of Time got kind of ruined. So I really like the story of Warrior Within, because it's a very long game. It's like semi-open world. You can travel to certain rooms a couple of times. And, yeah, the story is just very well written, and it's interesting.
Okay.
Cool. Jasimus,
Oh, hello,
do you have any co-op runs with Hanky Plants? Or anything else? Any co-op streams, I guess, what counts too?
I think since he's traveling here with his girlfriend, they actually just want to see the country and stuff. So we probably won't do a co-op run of anything. Maybe I can give
Periscope streams. Periscope streams of you exploring the country.
Maybe could do. We plan to go on hovercraft at one point. The city I live in has the last commercially run hovercraft, like public transport system in the world.
Ooh.
It's really weird to me because it just feels normal because I've lived here all my life, and it's like, oh, you can take the hovercraft to the island. But then when people come here, they're like, what, a fucking hovercraft? Is this the fucking future? And I'm like, yeah, I guess actually, yeah, it's kind of weird. So yeah, maybe I could do a Periscope stream of the hovercraft. If anyone's watched Tom Scott,
Yes.
yeah, if you've watched him for a long time, he did a video on it once, which is the only reason I know it's special. To me, it's just normal. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably do some Periscope-y stuff, I guess.
Well, tell Hanky hi from me.
Okay, I
You
will
see him?
do.
Next question is any games that caught your interest in terms of speedrun potential?
Who's it directed towards, though?
All
I
of us,
think
guess.
just to all of us. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, there was that game. That was that Ghost game we were just watching. The
Yeah, that seemed very interesting.
That seems. Yeah.
Soul Suspect, murdered Soul Suspect. Yeah. So you're a ghost and stuff, and apparently Emma just said she wants it. So I guess we'll have to play this now. But yeah, it does look interesting, and yeah, Zephyr completely destroyed the leaderboards of this by being smart, I guess. So hopefully we can, I might give it a shot, see if I like it. Yeah.
Next question.
Well,
Yeah, go.
I have one thing to actually say, if I can.
Alright.
Run Invalid has actually started today. I don't know if you guys know what it is. It's like a routing competition. There are like people entering that thing. There's a game drawn out, like, chosen. A game that has never been speedrun before. Like right now it's Back to Gaia, which is like a game based on some kind of a German animation movie. It's like a 3D adventure platformer. And actually it's pretty big competition this time around. It's 23 people have entered. And 3 different teams were drawn. And the teams obviously, like, the people within the teams work on the game, route it from scratch, and then record segments and present segmented runs after some time. And obviously the team with the fastest time actually wins. So that was actually launched today. So yeah, if you guys
should have
you guys don't know about that, yeah.
No, I've tried Googling it, and unfortunately, because my Google is full of programming terminology, run invalid is like a programming error. So I can't find anything. I found a YouTube channel. But that's it. So is there like a Twitch page for it or any information?
I think it was being presented on the Shots Fired Marathon channel last time. If you've heard about Necrovision or something, that was like the game of that was the chosen game for the last competition. I didn't take part in it, so this is my first one, so I'm really excited. Because as I said, speedrunning a game sucks, but routing it is a completely different story.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Okay, so how long is that running for?
I think it ends in like September or something.
Oh, okay. So we'll have plenty of time to cover it then. But yeah, that's really cool. I wish I'd heard about that sooner. Okay, cool.
There's like 5 questions left, I think.
Okay, go on.
Will we meet at ESA Germany 2018, Catalystz? And that's a question by Tokaluni.
Well, if you go there again, then we certainly will meet, my lovely friend.
All right. Here's a question asked by Joe that has been asked before on previous podcasts, but I guess you could answer it again and also hear Catalyst's answer. What's your favorite speedrun of a game you don't run? Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge for me. But what about you, Josh?
Oh, damn.
You always struggle with this question.
Yeah.
What about you, Catalystz?
I have no idea. I'm just glad you said Mirror's Edge because I run the game myself, so that's really cool. But give me a second to think, actually.
Yeah, because there must be some games I enjoy watching that I don't actually run myself. Like, Pokemon games. I like watching runs of those. Metroid, yeah. I've never even played most of the Metroid games, but the 3D ones, I like watching those. No. Let me go through. I'm like looking for a raid target right now, so I'm like looking through a list of speed runs as well. Yeah, it's a hard question because you don't.
It is a very hard question.
You don't think about what you watch. Like Final Fantasy 7 and 10, if I want to like chill real hard, and I'll watch one of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my favorite, but one of the like better games that I don't run and I enjoyed watching was Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. But it's mostly like when I don't think like I have a favorite game to watch that I don't run. But when I like watch the GDQs and the ESAs and stuff, I just have it running, and I'm the guy that watches like almost the entirety of the marathons.
Yeah.
So I just really enjoy being like surprised by the games that are being run. Like I watch a game and I'm like, this game I would never play. I would never like speedrun this. I'm not expecting anything, and then it turns out to be a great speed game. The commentary is awesome, and I'm just having a good time.
Yeah, see, I knew there was someone else that did that. Yeah, I always advocate for doing that as well. Just like if there's a game you've never heard of, watch it for 5 minutes. If the runner doesn't talk, switch off. But if they actually do, it might be interesting. So yeah, you can always find interesting things with that. Yeah, that's a good answer. There you go. All right.
And there's one question left. Is this a chatting speedrun?
Kind of.
Only if we get sub 2 hours.
Yes, yeah. If we get
only if you have to pick up friends at an airport.
Yeah. What was our PB in this? I guess it would be like a guestless episode.
Yeah.
Probably like.
Keep track. I'm gonna check YouTube.
Okay, it's probably like an hour, I would assume. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the shorter episodes aren't the best ones, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah.
I thought that was a question, I think, for me when I was talking about the GTA with the mouse flicking. Yes, I was talking about San Andreas. Someone asked, I think.
All right, there you go then. Yeah. SA is the one with the camera flick, because the Vice City and GTA 3, you can't move the camera when you're in a vehicle.
Yeah.
So
GTA 3 has a similar thing though with all the switching though. It also can be a bit annoying, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, it's really annoying to watch more than execute, I guess.
Episode 23 and episode 14 were both guestless episodes, and they were 1 hour 13 and 1 hour 8 minutes respectively.
Okay, so I guess not having a guest cuts like an hour.
Yeah, and then like the shortest guest episode that I can find right now is, I think, episode 21 about ESA Germany, which was 1 hour 24 minutes.
That makes sense. A marathon one, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, there you go then. There's our PBs in guestless percent and guest percent, I guess.
Also, now we need to get marathon-less percent.
Marathonless percent, go on.
Super hot episode was 1 hour 38 minutes. There might be one that's like 35 minutes.
Okay, there you go.
37 minutes. NASA. Oh, that's a marathon. All right. 1 hour 30 something. All right. So it's no PB. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, there you go. That would segue well into talking about our YouTube channel, but we have to do other stuff first. So yes, so at the start of the show, we talked about what we'd done the previous week. Now we can plug our stuff and talk about what we're going to do next week. So I guess I'll start because I don't normally start. I don't know. Henky's coming around, so I might stream some funny stuff with him. Last time he and Pete came round, we played.
You just said you wouldn't stream.
Well, we might do. We'll find out. But last time they came round, we streamed Mary Kate's and Ashley's My Sweet 18 game or something. It was like a teenage game. We tried to speedrun it. It was awful, but hilarious. Yeah, we might stream something. I don't know. But once he leaves, I don't know either. I should probably do SA again, but I don't know. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next, I guess.
Okay.
So I have been talking with Goknek or Gosinek, if you please, and we said, hey, we gotta get back into Portal 2 co-op. So I'm saying it here so that you can hold me to it, and we will begin probably Saturday or Friday when he gets off work.
Sick.
That's cool.
That's
really cool.
Look forward to watching that.
Other than that, I have some loose ends I need to tie up, like a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas 100% run that has like a 10-minute time loss in it, and a GTA 3 100% run that I need to finish learning, and a Far Cry 2 any percent segmented run that I need to finish.
Jesus. Here's you of all these speedruns and stuff, and I'm just doing Let's Plays. Whoa.
Also, I'll be doing Let's Plays of Phase Shift where I continue trying to FC all the songs.
Oh yeah, you are doing that. Okay. All right. What about you, Catalystz? What are you doing?
Oh, I got dude, I also got a speedrunning list I still need to do. But right now, as I said, I'll probably be just playing The Last of Us. Try to get the 34 because I have a high 35, so I want to improve that run. Streaming it that every day, pretty much. Then I also want to do a lot of Mirror's Edge because the annual Mirror's Edge tournament is actually taking place right now. What the heck are you doing?
Keep going.
This episode not sponsored.
And yeah, that's the thing I could have mentioned, like in the news or something, that the Mirror's Edge tournament's taking place. The first round was concluded. Only top 8 is going to be streamed, so you still have some time before that actually happens. So that's
Is that going to be done on the Speed Gaming channel or on some other channel?
I'm not really sure now. I think on the Speed Gaming channel.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
Yeah, that should be 2 or 3 more weeks until you can see the top 8 there.
I really
actually had
need to keep a closer eye on Speed Gaming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. Continue.
No worries. So I had a race yesterday, actually, and I lost because I haven't played the game for over a month and a half. So I got a time that was 8 minutes slower than my PB. But eventually I lost only by 10 seconds. So I was bashing my head for all the mistakes that I did. But there's a losers bracket in there, so I still have a chance, I guess. So I want to play Mirror's Edge a lot in practice because my PB is 31-23. So yeah, I also want to get sub 30, which is going to require some serious work, but I want to get that. Then I have a lot of stuff. Outlast, I got 910. I want to get 908 because it's possible. That's in seconds, by the way, not hours.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And that's that's pretty much it, I guess. But the next week's gotta be I tell you, the first thing I'll do after this, I'll finish the tutorial episodes. I'm gonna be a dead man, and there's not gonna be anything for me to do the next week, right? And after that, I'll just do some Last of Us, do some Mirror's Edge. I have some stuff I need to do for my own stream, some graphical work and shit, and yeah, that's pretty much my week.
Cool. While you were doing that, I had some bad news. My tool broke. I was pressing the next title button and it wasn't working, so I had to reopen it and cycle through all the titles. I think I know why it crashed though, but it's fine. Okay.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah, I've got to test this stuff like over long periods of time. But,
I
so,
really
yeah.
like the new layout though. It looks
thank
fancy.
Yeah, I think one thing that S pointed out, and I agree is missing, is chat. We need a...
Yeah, and also this bit right here.
It's fine. It lines up.
It doesn't line up with all the way up there.
It does. It lines up. It's just a shadow, all right? Yeah. But yeah, I need to find a way of putting chat on here. I was fiddling around with XSplit. I could maybe have chat on the screen when we're doing chat Q&A.
I was taking a look at it, and if you use like the thing over there, if you move that a bit over this way, then you can fit chat all the way over there.
On the left.
Yeah.
Okay. Could try it. We'll mess around with the layout, but yeah. I totally didn't just lift this from another podcast I saw online. It was totally my original idea, right? But yeah, there you go. So I guess that's it for us.
Also, something that might be useful to put on here is if we get all our social media links and make them in something readable, and maybe put those on the layout.
Yeah, like there's nothing above my head.
Yeah, so you could put a Twitter link and a Discord link on there.
Do you think we should have like one line that like cycles through, or?
Yeah, I was about to say maybe you could like
it depends
cycle.
on how much room we have left.
Yeah.
Like
Like
you
if
could
you can
cycle
fit
like,
it all in there all at once, then yes, but we'd have to look into that.
right.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. We'll mess around with it. But yeah, it was the first time we were using this layout, so it's a lot better than... I don't know if this is going to break everything. Actually, I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to switch to the other one because I don't want to break my code. But yeah, it's a lot better than the other one now.
Yeah, there's some stuff like it's a template, right? You can work with this.
Yeah, make improvements. Okay, anyway, less about the layout, more about plugging stuff. So yeah, Trollbear's already done the links in the chat, good job. So yeah, we have a YouTube where we post every episode, and this is the time of the week where I check to make sure I actually posted the last episode. And I did! There you go! So if you want to watch the previous episode about PewDiePie, you can go watch that with our old layout, and you can look at how bad it is.
On the improvements we made.
Yeah. So yeah, this will be the first one with the new layout on there. There you go. We're talking about the layout again. Okay, so yeah, that was the YouTube. We also have the Discord where you can let us know about random things you find in the week, and it's where we organise everything. So go ahead and join that if you want to tell us about things like tournaments and stuff that we don't hear about.
We're the most uninformed podcast hosts ever, so it would have been nice if you could help us.
Yeah, I struggle to find news sometimes.
This podcast is not only made by us, but by you, the viewer.
Yes, there you go. Good job, S. Good tagline. Yeah, then we also have a Twitter where we really only ever tweet when we're about to go live. And then we have a submission form where if you want to just directly send us a world record that you see in the next week, you can use that form and it will go straight into our notes for the next episode. Sort of.
I remember episode 2 and 3. We actually forgot to check those submissions, and then there was someone who was really disappointed that we didn't cover their own.
Yeah. We do that thankfully. All right, so that's it. I guess we'll find a raid target. We'll prefer if the guest has a good raid target, I guess.
I guess we could also say if you are or know a potential guest for future episodes, then do inform us and them, and get in contact. Not using the forum, but preferably using a private message on Discord or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Anyone got any raid targets?
I do not really.
Okay.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Sort of. So Seductive Spatula is doing LA Noire. 5 stars speedruns.
Oh god, that run.
I saw someone else as well that we could rate. But
Okay.
Seductive Spat it is.
Okay, Seductive Spat, sure. Yeah, what was their run at ESA like? I haven't seen it yet.
It was
I
so much
watched a
fun.
bit of it. It was good, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a lot of fun.
I have it in my watch later list. I
It
haven't got around
wasn't
to it yet.
necessarily the run that was good, but the commentary just made it.
Yeah, it
worse.
was awesome, and also the like chat reactions were really good.
Okay, all right. So we'll raid Spat. What should we raid with? Nuggets. Oh, good God! I don't want to stir drama up, please. Anyone got a good raid message?
Catalystz, do you know a raid message? Maybe your favorite quote from Sense of Time?
I don't know. That's like not that many people will get it, so I guess probably something generic would be better. I have no idea.
Nice ESA run? I don't know.
It's
It's kind of boring. Come on, Farah, no. That's fine.
Alright.
There.
All right, let's go with Farno then.
Good job. Farah, no is the raid message. So yeah,
Trying
go.
to copy it.
I got it.
Oh, that's the wrong
That
I
was
can't
the wrong
copy
link.
paste.
Is that the link to what I think it is? Oh no, it's that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah. So anyway, go watch Sonic the Spatula. Do LA Noire. He's 2 hours into like a 6-hour run, I think. So go there, raid with Farano, and we'll see you for the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we are at the
Bye.
play outro button. Oh baby, I get to test this. Here we go. Oh, it works.
Nice.